Right, everyone. Thank you. Can I have your attention, please? And we will start this evening's proceedings. So it is a great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening to the 2018 Academic Awards. It's so fantastic to see so many people from right across our fantastic academic community who've invested so much into the pursuit of knowledge and education, recognizing the achievements of academics, researchers, staff and students alike. Now, I think I have to begin by thanking all of the amazing SU staff who put together this evening, particularly Scott Dawson, Sarah Henderson, Connor Young, and the rest of our events team. If the looking by this room is anything to judge by, it's going to be a fantastic evening, so we all give them a quick round of applause. The University of Sheffield is a special place. It's not like other universities. It was founded when, in 1905, the people, the workers of Sheffield, came together and donated a penny of their wages to fund a new university for Sheffield. From the very beginning, the mission of the University of Sheffield was for it to be for the people, to bring education within the reach of the child of the worker. This is a legacy that Sheffield has to be proud of, something so precious that it cannot be allowed to be forgotten. Fortunately, in 1906, the Student Representative Committee Council, which would later become Sheffield Students' Union, was formed. At the time, there was another, Professor Wynne, who was a great friend to students and was instrumental in getting this set up. And even in those early days, out of the 2 vice president positions, one of these was reserved for a woman. Since then, the Students' Union has had a long and successful history of holding the university to account, representing students, and campaigning for change on a broader scale. And for the last 10 of those years, we have been recognized as the #1 students' union in the country. Today, we are an unflinchingly political students' union, and we stand up for what is right. We stand to fight climate change and for a more sustainable future. We stand to combat the mental health crisis. We stand for equality and liberation for all systematically oppressed people. We stand to create an inclusive and inspirational sporting community. We stand in solidarity with our international siblings. We stand to end the homelessness crisis. We stand to make higher education accessible to everyone, no matter what. And we stand, as we always have done, for an education system that is fair and is free. In our fight against marketisation of higher education, we have opposed the Teaching Excellence Framework, negotiating with the university not to opt in to the subject-level TEF pilot. We have boycotted the NSS, and we have stood with the university and college union in their fight to save staff pensions. I'm unwavering in my belief that it was absolutely the right thing for the students' union to support this. The strike was about more than just pensions. It was about fighting marketisation. It was about protecting the academic profession for future generations, and it was about what we want out of the future of education. And if the future of education looks like the Jessup West picket line and Teach Out in the gallery, I'm very, very hopeful. And whilst there were many positives that came from the strike, there was also a lot of anger as well, and a considerable strength of feeling from everyone right across our campus, for a wide variety of different reasons that are too complex to go into right now. University is about having difficult conversations. It's about disagreeing with each other, but it's about doing this from a place of openness, honesty, and respect. But now that dust is settled, it's important for us all to remember why it is that we're all here. It's because we love to learn, and we love to teach, and we love to collaborate, and we love to create, and we love to dream of a better world, and we love education. And in Sheffield, we're united by our values of inclusivity and generosity and kindness that make us so special. I'm so excited to see academic communities recognised with an award this year, because nobody exists alone, and it's only by working together that we can create change. So for me, I'd like to congratulate everyone that's here for all the hard work you've done and all you've done to contribute to our academic community. Each and every one of you should be proud of yourselves, whether you're shortlisted, you win an award or not, for being part of our academic community at the University of Sheffield. I'm really, really pleased that you're all here. Now, this is an education event, so it's only right that I talk about our education officer. Anyone who's been involved in the SU's political scene will know that Stuart and I have come from slightly different political backgrounds. We've had plenty of disagreements, but we've always found our common ground, and we've conducted ourselves with honesty and respect, and by working together, we and the SU have achieved great things. I've said we love education, and we love our education officer, so could we please give Stuart a round of applause? Up next, I'd like to welcome to the stage our brilliant, passionate, and hard-working academic coordinator, Scott Dawson.
Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me okay? So first things first, I'm not Stuart. I was an officer a few years ago, so clearly I haven't got over that. So I've taken Stuart's limelight because I've still got to live all those past memories, obviously. Not clinging on to anything there. I hope you're all having a lovely evening. Fire alarms aside, that was all the plan to get you fresh air for the evening, all calculated. So I'm not going to take up too much time up here. We need to get through all the awards, all the fantastic nominees, and kind of celebrate the successes that we're here for tonight. So I'm just going to go through some of the basic information for the evening. If you do have any questions as well, you can find me later. So, first of all, actually, before we get into that, can we just give a round of applause to Fringe, our band, this evening? Absolutely fantastic stuff. And they'll be performing for us for the rest of the evening as well. So, we've had over 550 nominations this year across all 16 categories. And I've got to say, having seen almost all of those nominations across the last 3 months getting this event together, the caliber and excellence across the board is unbelievable. So to be shortlisted and to be here this evening is a real honor, and it was an incredibly tricky process, as our shortlisting panel, I'm sure, will vouch for. You may notice as well that our awards have a bit of a welfare focus, and Rena, our welfare officer, will be talking a little bit more about that later on. So the evening is going to be running in 2 halves tonight. We're going to be starting with the Learning and Teaching Awards, and then the Welfare and Support Awards. And you can see these on the programs on your tables if you haven't seen those already. After that, we'll be having a short 10 to 15 minute break where you can get another drink, go to the bathroom. The jazz band will be playing during that time. And then we'll be moving on to our final awards, which is Representation and Activism, and our final headliners, I guess you could say, which is Communities, Outstanding Teaching, and Outstanding Student Contribution. We'll be aiming to finish about 9:30 p.m. tonight, fire alarm or not. We may get a few more, who knows, but we'll try our best to get through it. We do tend to end a little bit earlier, but I'm not going to promise you that, so we will aim for 9:30 and we'll see how we get on. Now, if you're one of those lucky people to be announced as the winner tonight, if you could walk on the stage via the steps in front of you here, and come and collect your certificate, which will be over here. We will have various presenters throughout the evening who will be there to take a photo with you here. Our lovely photographer will be taking a shot of you there. We have Wyn Morgan, we have Rena, and we have Stuart, who will be there to take those photos with you. And once you've had that photo taken, you'll depart down the staircase here, which will be signed for you, left on the doors, and you can go back and be seated and kind of bask in the glory. So presenters, likewise, when you were called on stage from your previous presenter, walk on stage by the steps. You'll have a little jazzy intro for you as you walk up. How exciting. Also, apologies in advance for some of the songs we picked for the winners. They're a bit cheesy. Stuart picked them. It's not my fault. Presenters, once you've walked up and you've read out the nominees and you've announced the winner, if you could please remain on stage whilst the winner comes up, collects their award, has their photo taken. I know it's slightly awkward, but bear with me, it'll be okay. And then once the winner has had their photo taken, if you would also like to depart the stage with the winner, down here, head left, head out, and sit back down, and your work is done. In terms of further information, there is a quiet space in the Students' Union auditorium if you need that this evening, so just completely de-stress, relax, and that's basically back through studio where we started this evening, and through the double doors, and there'll be signage pointing you towards that space if you need it. We also have the bar open throughout the evening, which is quite difficult to miss. Apologies again in the email if you thought it was a paid bar. We realised we're sorry, but the SU budget doesn't stretch that far. but we appreciate the bar being open nonetheless. I'll definitely be having a few later. So stressful. So in terms of the people who will be looking after you this evening, there's myself, there's also Sarah. Sarah, where are you? Sarah's just waving over there, and Neil Mackenzie. So if you need anything this evening, any questions or issues, find one of us. We'll do everything that we can to help you. I also just want to let you know that at the end, if you want to party on and celebrate that academic success, we are having a small after party in the interval within the Students' Union, which you're welcome to join. We appreciate your patience this evening. The fire alarm isn't how we expected the evening to start out, and I really do hope you enjoy the rest of your evening with us tonight. Okay, did that all make sense? Are we all good? Some nods just to reassure me would be fantastic. There we go, perfect. Well, with that all said and done, I would like to invite Wyn Morgan onto the stage to present the awards and Neil Mackenzie to present the first award of the evening. Thank you.
Good evening. So it falls to me to open the proceedings for tonight. The first award is the award for the Best Postgraduate Supervisor. The award for the Best Postgraduate Supervisor goes to a staff member who uses a holistic approach to supporting their postgraduate students in their academic and personal life, encouraging students to succeed and providing sound advice. The nominees are Katie Edwards. Katie is a research supervisor who balances encouraging academic growth among her students as well as well-being. She leads by example as both an academic and an activist and inspires those around her to do the same. Ian Sabro. Ian is a compassionate and supportive supervisor who does the utmost to allow his students to fulfill their potential. His guidance is comprehensive and expertise exhaustive, but without any air of superiority. And Robertus von Fey Siebenbergen. Robertus goes above and beyond in supporting his students to achieve their aspirations. He supervises a diverse cohort of home and international students and shows unwavering attentiveness to their range of needs. And the winner is Katie Edwards. And I would now like to invite Josh Berline, the outgoing co-chair of the Education Committee, to present our next award.
Cheers, guys. So, second, the award for Best Postgraduate Student Who Teaches. The award for Best Postgraduate Student Who Teaches goes to a postgraduate student who has undertaken teaching alongside their PhD and delivered excellent quality teaching. Now, I'd like to say their achievements are all the more important and impressive when you consider that they're working on precarious contracts for doing far more work than they're paid for, and all alongside the demands of researching and writing their theses, and they deserve commendation for that alone. But without further ado, the nominees are Lauren Nixon, Lauren maintains an extremely busy schedule consisting of numerous conferences, part-time work in the NHS, and her PhD studies. This year, she has worked tirelessly to coordinate a 3-day educational boot camp for students wanting to go into postgraduate work on Gothic themes. Second, we have Itzel Medina Pera. Itzel takes a wholehearted approach to teaching, rehearsing her lectures meticulously and making them as interactive as possible. She always goes above and beyond to perform to the absolute best of her ability and ensures all her students feel valued. And finally, Razvan Apatry. Razvan instills a passion and curiosity in his students to learn and discover more about the study of aerospace engineering. His patience, kindness, and teaching ability leaves a lasting impression on those he interacts with. And the winner is... It is in here. Lauren Nixon. I'd now like to invite Meg, the Development Officer, to present the next award.
So the award for outstanding feedback recognises a staff member who consistently provides constructive, detailed and timely feedback to students during their time in Sheffield. So the nominees are Linda Cotter. Linda does all that she can to support her students, causing some to wonder if she ever sleeps. It is obvious that she cares deeply about her students and their successes, making each of them feel heard and reassured. The second nominee is Sam Rigby. Sam encourages his students to become independent learners and thinkers, and provides thorough and effective feedback. His work ethic allows his students to maximise their potential as developing engineers. And our final nominee is Damien Gonzalez Salzberg. Damien provides his students with consistent and regular feedback to allow them to progress throughout the academic year. Many of his students credit their academic success on his module to responsiveness and the quality of his feedback. So the winner is Linda Cotter. I would now like to invite Amy Jeffries, Manager of the Student Skills and Development Centre, to present the next award.
Okay, so this is the Innovation in Academic Skills Development Award, which goes to a staff member who actively encourages skills development and embeds this within the curriculum at Sheffield. So the nominees are, firstly, Catherine Williams from the School of Languages and Cultures. Catherine was nominated for her excellent leadership of a project on literary translation and publishing. She made contact with a local independent publisher who specialises in translated fiction and co-created a successful bid for funding to buy in the publisher's skills for a series of talks and workshops. Secondly, Ryan Jones and Pete Mylon from Aerospace Engineering and iForge. Ryan and Pete have been nominated for their extensive and significant contribution to the running and creation of the iForge Makerspace. Their pioneering efforts have changed the academic lives of students within engineering. And finally, we've got Mick Ashman from the School of Nursing and Midwifery. Mick cares deeply about and recognises the immense importance of study skills development within higher education. He goes above the call of duty, even offering to accompany students to workshops and tutorials at the 301 Centre if they feel nervous about accessing support for the first time. And the winner is, I sealed it for extra effect. You can hear it opening. Ooh, okay. The winner is Catherine Williams. Well done, Catherine, and to everyone nominated. So I'd now like to invite Rena Staves, who's the Students' Union Welfare Officer, to present the next award.
Hello everybody, hope you're having a wonderful evening. So I'm here to present the award for Outstanding Group Contribution to Student Welfare, and I've been asked by Scott to tell you a little bit about the welfare element of this awards this year, because it's taken such an important and prominent aspect of the awards. The transition to higher education can be one of the most difficult and distressing times in any student's life. No student's experience is ever the same, and it's never a straightforward journey. I came to university through clearing. At the last minute, literally on the day I was supposed to move, I withdrew my place at Newcastle University. For some reason, I just knew it wasn't the place for me. And somehow, through many emails exchanged, phone calls made, and personal statements written, I managed to switch to the University of Sheffield's incredible School of English to study English language and literature. I can't even begin to explain how stressful a time that was for me. But throughout the whole process, I was given incredible support and guidance. I remember speaking to someone at the university's finance department, arranging the logistics and practicalities of the move. And one thing that stuck with me ever since, was the person's kindness, their patience, and their compassion. They understood how complicated the process was, and their genuine warmth just honestly made the difference. I went on to be a commuter student for my first year of university, and this brought with it many challenges to overcome, but it also gave me a unique perspective of university life, and one that I've been able to use in the role that I'm in now as Sheffield Students' Union Welfare Officer, to highlight issues surrounding loneliness, for example. It's been an absolute pleasure to work for an organisation that prioritises student mental health and well-being and places it at the core of everything that we do. So I was on the shortlisting panel, and the nominations we received were just honestly astounding. It was impossible to select just a few nominations. Our staff, both at the Students' Union and the university, deserve the world of recognition, always. I've been very fortunate in that I, myself, have got to work with many of the staff nominated in this category, and they are truly wonderful people. So before we go on to our shortlisted nominees for this new award, we just wanted to provide a special mention to a couple of groups and individuals that, whilst not shortlisted, have all in some way strived to improve student wellbeing across Sheffield this year. The LGBT+ committee have made an outstanding contribution to student welfare this year. On top of a variety of socials, coffee mornings, mentoring schemes, the committee work with accommodation and commercial services to ensure that LGBT+ specific accommodation will be introduced. This guarantees that future LGBT students will have the option to live with other LGBT students. Also, Hajira, the chair of BME committee, has done an absolutely incredible job over the last few weeks, having organised the anti-racism protest, and being involved in supporting the SU in planning its campaign to tackle these issues. Hajira made the university and SU review their practices in tackling racism on campus. It would be great if we could provide a round of applause for this wonderful and amazing people. So the nominees for this category are, firstly, Wellbeing Cafe. This is the first year that Wellbeing Cafe has been entirely student-led, and its committee have given a great deal of time, energy and care to ensure that it's flourished. The cafe has a focus on community, sustainability and well-being, and is valued immensely by all its guests by creating an inclusive and welcoming space for all. The Mature Students Committee This year, Mature Students Committee has arranged regular drop-ins to enable students from across the university to come together and feel a part of a community. The attendance at these events continues to grow, with hundreds of students regularly attending, enabling students to feel part of a vibrant community at a university and prevent social isolation. Sheffield Nightline. Sheffield Nightline has been going through an immense period of transition, and its coordinators have managed this with the utmost commitment and vision. Their work is emotionally intensive, but they have strived to maintain their own well-being, as well as the students they support, creating volunteer burnout training and other innovative initiatives. So, without further ado, the winner is Sheffield Nightline. So I'd now like to welcome Claire Conway, Assistant Head of Career Service, to present the next award.
Good evening, everyone. The Student Futures Award aims to recognise a staff member who creates opportunities for students to enhance their employability and enable students to explore post-university career plans. The nominees are Julie Ballon from Shar, Julie inspires her students to become innovative global health practitioners, creating links between students and professionals, sharing her networks and communicating every opportunity for personal development possible. The second nominee is the Sheffield UCU. Sheffield UCU are committed to protecting future workers and future students through their tireless efforts to protect staff pensions and the sector more generally. Their actions have inspired, informed and impacted students' futures in a direct and significant way. And the third nominee is Tamara Hervey from Law. Tamara's commitment to student involvement in both her own academic research and the development of the law school's curriculum has generated multiple opportunities for numerous students. Along with the invaluable experience this has provided for those individuals, it has afforded the student perspective a critical platform in module content and pedagogy. And the winner is, bit of a drum roll please, Julie Ballon. Congratulations.
Thank you to my wonderful students in the audience.
So congratulations to Julie, but congratulations to all of the nominees. I'd now like to invite Flo Brooks, Sports Officer, who will present the next award.
So the Best Academic Mentor Award goes to a student who provides outstanding support to their mentees through being approachable and providing informed advice, enabling new students to integrate into university life. The shortlisted nominees are Sarah Broadhurst. As an academic mentor, Sarah has reassured and encouraged her mentees at all times. She is considered a gifted communicator and an excellent role model for students that may wish to become mentors in the future. The second nominee is Lucy Fell. Lucy is always on hand to provide advice and a listening ear to her mentees, acting as both a friend and guide. She uses her own experience to support her mentees in making the most of their university experience and takes pride in doing so. The third nominee is Marta Chodorowska. Marta takes her multifaceted approach to supporting her mentees by providing advice on everything from careers to socializing. She is friendly and approachable, fostering a trusting relationship with her mentees in which no question is not addressed. So the winner of the Best Academic Mentor is Marta Chodorowska. Well done, Marta. I would now like to invite Santana, the International Students Officer, to present the next award.
Hi. So the award for Best Personal Tutor recognizes a staff member that uses a holistic approach to supporting students in their academic and personal life, encouraging students to succeed and provide sound advice. The nominees are Panos Nanos from Economics, Panos nurtures and guides his students to pursue and achieve their aspirations, and it is evident that he will work tirelessly to support every student's success, as well as being highly invested in their well-being. He appreciates the importance of employability and offers a great deal of insight on this. And our second nominee is Russell Buchan from Law. Russell has demonstrated an ongoing commitment to his students' personal and academic development, offering considerable pastoral care and guidance when navigating students' welfare processes and ensuring his students are able to build essential support networks. And our final nominee is Anna Topakis from Management School. Anna's approach to teaching is innovative. She achieves a great deal of balance between supporting and challenging students, ensuring that differing needs of learners are met and individual students can perform to the best of their abilities. She has proactively connected students with businesses, inviting various practitioners onto her courses, and devising assignments that link research to practice. And the winner is Panos Nanos from Economics. To invite to Director of Student Support Services, who will now present the next award.
Good evening, everybody. So this is the award for the most supportive non-academic staff member. The award for most supportive non-academic staff member recognises a non-academic member of staff who has provided students with excellent support throughout their university journey, enabling them to fulfil their potential. And the nominees are Jess Meacham from journalism, Jess is a truly outstanding, empathetic and inspirational member of staff and a remarkable source of support for students. Jess invests time and energy into understanding how different people experience university, making the support she provides unique and powerful for those who receive it. Second, we have Jenny Smith from the Student Advice Centre. Jenny's work stretches far and wide across the university through her support of numerous welfare-related societies and initiatives. She is extremely approachable and undeniably passionate about student welfare, making her an invaluable member of staff to both the Students' Union and the wider university. And finally, we have Kay Guccione from Research Services. Kay has demonstrated an outstanding level of commitment to student well-being through her various activities, in particular her work in support of PGR mental health and well-being. She is very proactive in developing new initiatives and committed to ensuring that best practice from projects is embedded within the institution and available to colleagues at Sheffield and beyond. And the winner is Jess Meacham.
So now for the next award, I think we're going to take a break, but I'd like to invite Wyn Morgan back on stage to present. I'm not sure what award is next because I can't see. We finished, so this is a break. Short speech from Wyn.
Thank you, Rena. I've never been introduced as a break before, but there you go. The sharp-eyed amongst you will realise that it's a little earlier than planned in the programme, so I'm going to fill the next 30 minutes with a diatribe on agricultural economics. No, believe me, no. Listen, it's a great place to be here, and thank you for inviting me to do this. I think it's great to hear about all the stories, the wonderful and moving and powerful stories of activity across campus, and the way that we share it, the way that we do it as a community. And I think that's the most important part of this. This is about us working as a university, working for ourselves, working for our students, and working for the greater good. And I think that's a wonderful testament to what goes on in this university. What I do know from the judges is that we're seeing, the short list. The long list is also incredible. So it's just extraordinary how many people have been nominated, how many people are doing wonderful things for this university. And one of the things that I've picked up through the course of these awards so far, and indeed through what we've been trying to do over the course of the year, is all about student welfare. And I'd just like to pick that up because I think that's something where we've really moved things on as an institution, recognising that students are under increasing pressure, recognising that their lives are not easy, and recognising that we need to help and support them in many ways. Rena made comment about this earlier, and I think one of the things we have done together with the student union, with our support services, with the academic community, is just think very differently about how we support our students. And I think the work that Susan Bridgeford has led in terms of reshaping our support, the mental health support, the counselling support, the GP support, to make sure that we're trying to give the students what they need when they need it is so important. But it's not just about at the time of crisis, it's about making sure we don't get to that point. And one of the things I've really enjoyed this year is working with Flo and thinking about how do we think about the well-being and health of students generally, and thinking about how we can use sport, exercise and the activities, etc., to make sure that this feels a safe, welcoming and warm place to be. And I think sport has such a role to play in that, not necessarily the elite stuff, but just the day-to-day. And those are the types of things that we should be thinking about as a community, thinking about how we do this to support our students and to support ourselves. And the final bit I'll just mention is what we're trying to do now in thinking about our actual teaching. Because our teaching is really, really good. We're really damn good at it as an institution. But we can always think we can do more, we can do better, we can do things differently. And I think working again with our students, working as teams, working on what we think is the right thing to do will help us as academics, because I'm still teaching, I still love my teaching, I still love going into the classroom and getting a buzz from working with students, thinking about what we do, our workload, the student workload, and therefore how it works for all of us. But ultimately it is about that student welfare, and I just want to end with just a very personal thing, because it really matters to me, not simply because we do the right thing for our students, but because it's very personal to me. My daughter suffers extremely with mental health problems, and she's a student at this institution, and I just want to pay testament to the support she has received during the last 2 years as a student at this institution. It's been second to none, and I just want to thank people for that. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a fantastic time. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyn, and thank you everyone for coming. Is everyone having a good time? I am having fun, despite, as you can probably tell, being a bit under the weather. So apologies if my voice breaks up at any point tonight. But before we go to a quick break, can we just have a big round of applause for all the winners and all of those shortlisted, and all of those, as Wyn said, in the long list as well, because there's been so many amazing things. It was so difficult choosing, at being part of that panel and choosing the winners, but you all deserve it so much. Thank you. Thank you again to Fringe. So, if I'd like to just invite everyone back to their tables for the next section of the awards. So, the next category of the awards is representation and activism. And this celebrates, as the name suggests, the incredible work that students and staff do in this university to represent students and staff and change things for the better for the future. So to present the first award, I'd like to invite the Chief Executive of the Students' Union to the stage, Jackie Booth.
Hello everybody. So the award for Best Student-Led Activity Event, the Best Student-Led Academic Event or Activity recognises a student-led event or activity that has successfully engaged students in current educational issues. And there are 3 nominees. The first is the Sheffield World Health Organisation simulation. The Sheffield World Health Organisation provides students with an opportunity to explore policy making to address global health issues. The event, run by a large team of volunteers, brought in attendees and experts from as close as Leeds to as far away as South Korea, and is the first of its kind to ever happen in Sheffield. Secondly, the Student Surgical Society. Sheffield Surgical Society has run several brilliant events across the year, from informative career talks to suturing workshops and conferences. I'm so glad you practice your suturing. Their 6th annual conference provided both junior doctors, surgeons and A-level students with a chance to learn how exciting a surgical career can be. And finally, the Roving Picket. The Roving Picket, led by a group of grassroots student activists, toured the UCU picket line every day with chants, banners, music and dance to show striking staff how much support they have from the students. These students engage both staff and other students on the educational issues of the USS pension changes in a positive and exciting way. I can vouch for that. It's very exciting. My favourite was the raving, by the way. And the winner is Sheffield World Health Organisation simulation. Congratulations to all of you, and may your activism live on. I'd now like to invite Celeste Jones, the Students' Union Women's Officer, to present the next award.
Hi everyone. The Liberation and Diversity Award recognises someone who has proactively attempted to diversify the curriculum in order to broaden the perspectives and experiences of students. The shortlisted nominees are Sophie Clark, as a Quality and Liberation Coordinator for the Students' Union, Sophie has been seen by many students as kind, friendly and approachable. Sophie has raised the platform of student representative committees and supported their projects across the year. In particular, her work on liberating the curriculum has inspired staff and students alike. The second person is Miriam Miller. Miriam has reviewed the university student support for those with specific learning difficulties, mental health and/or autism spectrum conditions. Involving students throughout the process, Miriam gave marginalised groups ownership and autonomy over the research undertaken and ensured that mental health and overworking are recognised as significant barriers to many across the university. The third nominee is Cian O'Herlihy from LGBT+ Committee. As chair of LGBT+ Committee at Sheffield Students' Union, Cian has worked relentlessly to create a more equal university. By working to improve university accommodation services for marginalised students, taking a stand against discrimination and being inclusive, friendly and supportive of all representative groups, Cian has improved university life for the betterment of disadvantaged students. And the winner is Miriam Miller. I'd now like to invite Bob Mackay, University Director of Learning and Teaching for Student Engagement, to present the next award.
Hi everyone. I'm someone whose best experiences as a teacher have come when how I do things has been turned upside down or inside out by students challenging me to think differently. So I am delighted to be reading out the award for the Best Academic Representative Team, even though I can kind of not read it. The award for Best Academic Representative Team goes to a team of reps from a course, department or faculty who work together to improve the lives of the students they represent. The shortlisted nominees are SHAR Academic Reps, the SHAR Academic Representative Team has supported each other throughout the academic year. They've been incredibly proactive with their department in ensuring students are up to date with changes through Google Forms, events, and promoting the diverse community within SHAR. Orthoptics Student Staff Committee. The Orthoptics Student Staff Committee work proactively to respond to students' ideas on their learning experience. They've worked to be a clear and accountable committee, with decisions made at the meetings being publicised to all year groups. Their efforts have placed this committee at the heart of the orthoptics community. And the School of Languages and Cultures Student Staff Committee. The SLC Student Staff Committee led the way in reshaping student engagement and representation this year. With a new format that focuses on the whole school, not just individual languages, the academic reps have managed to identify wider concerns not picked up before, such as staffing and text costs. This has reshaped how students engage with their reps and has seen increased and effective representation. And the winner is the School of Languages and Cultures Student Staff Committee. I'd now like to invite Dan Vaughan, here coordinator, to present the next award.
So, the award for the best academic representative goes to a student rep from a course, department or faculty who excels in representing their cohort by seeking the views of their peers and contributing to student staff committee meetings to improve the academic lives of the students they represent. The nominees are Alice Mercer, Alice has been recognised for her drive to improve the chemical engineering department. Always willing to listen to student concerns, Alice has ensured staff are aware of the challenges faced by all student groups. Communication has been key for Alice's work, meaning that both staff and students are on the same page and feel confident in the decisions made. Mina Makin. Mina has continuously dedicated himself to the role of the academic rep. Taking extra time to find out students' concerns and the specific detail required, Mina has every single year group in mind when providing feedback, not just his own. Having taken on the role for 2 years, Mina has provided consistency and supported ongoing changes to the course, which has been beneficial to both his year and upcoming students. Christine Lorraine. Christine has provided excellent leadership as chair for the Languages and Cultures Student Staff Committee. With both students and staff having not worked with the new academic rep system within the school, Christine provided a supportive and professional approach throughout. This has helped establish an effective model for the school going forward, which balances both the student and staff's perspective. Her positivity and enthusiasm has been incredibly valued. And the winner is Alice Mercer. I'd now like to invite Wyn Morgan to the stage to present the next award.
Okay, so this is the award for outstanding teaching. The award for outstanding teaching goes to a staff member who excels in teaching through providing engaging, innovative and informed lectures, tutorials and seminars. The nominees are Andrew Nichols in the Engineering IPO, Andrew's been described as an innovative teacher who's been able to translate something as complex as fluid mechanics in a clear and approachable format, using a combination of interactive discussion, videos and online content. Andrew has kept his course engaging, unique and accessible. Much of this comes from the personality and energy Andrew is able to inject into his classes, which is welcomed by all his students involved. The second nominee is Casey Strine from History Civs. Casey is known for providing rigorous, creative and engaging teaching. Always looking to incorporate student views in his teaching, Casey proactively seeks student opinion and alters his practice accordingly. His teaching style has been described as outside the box, get that right, which has allowed students to approach their work and his lectures in a variety of different ways. Likewise, his feedback is specific, constructive and humorous, which encourages development. And the final nominee is Christine Horner from Languages and Cultures. Christine has provided motivating and supportive teaching across the year. Treating her students as professionals in their own right, Christine seeks to always improve her students' learning. This comes across in both classes and tutorials, which sees students contributing as equals. Her knowledge around concepts linked to multiculturalism and multilingualism are not only theoretical, but clearly comes across with passion and overwhelming expertise. And the winner is... Thought I'd forgotten it then. And the winner is Andrew Nichols.
So, thanks, Wim. The Academic Communities Award is a new award in fitting with the theme tonight. Recognises a staff member who proactively fosters an academic community involving staff and students as equals. The nominees are the Roving Picket. The Roving Picket has played a fundamental role in organising events and raising awareness of the strike action. In particular, they have provided a visible identity to a large Sheffield community, both in person and online, translating the strike action in a way that staff and students can understand. Most importantly, the Roving Picket have been an inclusive group, aware of the intersectionality of the issues which the strike has ended up representing. The next nomination is the Teach Out. The Teach Out, led by Sheffield UCU and student activists, ran a series of talks and workshops across the month of the strike action. The breadth and the variety of topics discussed provided attendees with an insight into protests, radical poetry, industrial action, and more. This work brought students and staff together on topics of liberating the curriculum and cross-disciplinary learning in a format that was so beneficial it is still carrying on past the strike. The final nomination is Liars Bukas. In their role as peer-assisted study sessions coordinator, Liars has worked tirelessly to establish an effective community between departments and students. Training students to become past leaders and incorporating ideas from groups such as the Specialist Dyslexia Service has created an accessible and empowering provision for students to access. By supporting other students within their department in their learning, past leaders have enhanced the community support network of several departments due to the support and provision Liars has provided. So, the winner is the Roving Picket. I would now like to invite Kieran Maxwell, Students' Union President, to present the final award of the evening.
Thanks very much, Stuart, and congratulations again to the Roving Pickets. Hello again. So, the Outstanding Student Contribution Award goes to a student who goes above and beyond for their fellow students to improve their education. The nominees are Valerie Grant from Philosophy, Valerie has been described as a caring and enthusiastic individual who supports their fellow students in her role as chair of Mature Students Committee. Valerie has worked to include students from all walks of life and help students navigate the barriers they are facing. Likewise, her time at 301 has demonstrated a positive and friendly attitude which is welcoming and inclusive of others. Second of all, we have Matthew Shadrack from Electrical and Electronic Engineering. Having been an academic representative for 3 years and president of the EEE Society, Matt's efforts have focused on improving the students' relationship with departmental staff. The department have become more connected to the everyday student experience as a result. His time in Society's committee led him to gaining society input into the academic rep review, which ensured that the new system benefited and engaged societies. And finally, we have Thomas Julian from the medical school. As president of the Medical Society, Tom has brought the department, society and students together in a way not seen before. Tom has put student views and ideas on the map at both departmental and faculty meetings, whilst also revising the support structure for student medical representatives. Communication and consistency from Tom has provided the Medical Society and the school generally with a re-energised approach to student representation. And with great pleasure, I can now announce that the winner of the Outstanding Student Contribution Award is Thomas Julian. Before we finish the evening, I'd like to hand back to Stuart for some final closing remarks.
Thank you, Kieran. And as I said earlier, I think my voice is getting a little bit better now after having a few beers. But I have to admit I have written this speech this afternoon, so apologies if it's not quite as polished as Kieran's earlier. So can we have a round of applause, please, for all of the winners tonight? The winners, as well as everybody shortlisted and nominated, brilliantly reflect the incredible and diverse work that goes on at this university, which so often goes unnoticed. Deciding the winners was an incredibly difficult task, so well done to everyone who was shortlisted and nominated for an award tonight. As I said earlier, the theme tonight was celebrating academic communities. And I think this represents exactly what we should be celebrating, because community is exactly what university is all about. It is communities of people who make the University of Sheffield what it is today. It's the workers whose donations founded this university. It's the academics whose teaching inspire generations of students to go into the world and whose ideas will go forward to change it. It's the 1,000-strong union general meetings of our students' unions past, the demonstrations, occupations and rent strikes which won so many of the rights that we have today. It's the admin staff, the agenda makers, the minute takers, the email senders and the committee attenders. It's the cleaners, cooks and porters. It's the student reps that give their time to their departments and to representing students on their course. It's the utterly incredible Students' Union staff who support student reps, volunteers, societies, committees and officers. It's the trade unions and workers who stand together and fight for better rights and conditions. And it's the student activists who stand shoulder to shoulder with those workers because they know that an injury to one is an injury to all. And I could go on of all of the people and the communities that make what our academic community is. All of these people are not only the lifeblood of this university, they are this university and they are its future. And the timing of this awards also falls at a very historic anniversary. In this very month, 50 years ago, the May 68 revolt took place, where students and workers united and shook the world. This was predicated just a couple of years earlier at the University of Strasbourg, where a few students elected to the Students' Union printed 10,000 copies of a radical pamphlet called On the Poverty of Student Life and distributed them at the official ceremony marking the beginning of the academic year. And I mention this mostly because it puts into perspective the amount I've milked my free printing for leaflets and bulletins this year. And Wynne can thank me that I didn't do that at the opening ceremony this year. But two years after that, and millions of debates and discussions and demonstrations later, students kick-started a movement that brought France to a standstill, mobilised action across the world, and still inspires students and workers today. And on this particular day, 50 years ago, 200,000 workers were on strike. And just a few days later, it was 11 million. So UCU, take note for the next one. So we may not be quite at that stage right now. And we may not be quite the revolutionary university of my dreams, and I'm sure many others. I'm incredibly proud to be at the University of Sheffield. As Kieran said at the beginning, at Sheffield, we do things differently. Whilst we may, amongst ourselves, have our disagreements on issues, I think it's our shared values that make us strong. And we don't just see marketisation of our education as an unfortunate development. We reject it entirely. And with a government... And with a government intent on dismantling our education system as we know it, we will need these principles and these communities to survive. We must all be bold, and we must not capitulate. So I'd like to say a few thank yous. Firstly, for the people who make tonight possible, to the band, Fringe, who were incredible, to Forge Media, the tech team, to Wynne and all of the other presenters and speakers tonight, to the awards panel and all of our sponsors from Careers 301, here, APSI and Student Support Services, and of course to all the Students' Union staff that put so much work into it. A special shout out goes to Scott Dawson, Sarah Henderson and Connor Young, who put so much work into tonight and making it happen, and I'm sure, despite the fire alarm, which was not their fault at all, it's all gone very smoothly. And just to point out, Sarah has only been here a few weeks, and she's been thrust into all working with me and everything else. So I apologise for that. So I'd also like to thank, and I could keep on going on and on about the people I'd like to thank, but I'd like to thank a truly incredible group of people who inspire me every day, my fellow SU officers. I love you all so much, and what you do is amazing, and I feel like I've made friends for life, and I'm so happy to be part of such an incredible team, and I think we are a team, and I'm proud of that. I'd also like to thank all of the staff at the Students' Union. There are too many to name, so I feel like it's dangerous to name a few people, but every day, the commitment that you have to students is amazing. It's inspiring, and it's to your credit that the SU is such an amazing place, and I'm so proud to have been a part of your family for this year. And just finally, I'd like to thank two people and give a very special thanks to two people who, for me this year, I couldn't have done without, and who've supported me throughout the year, been there when I've needed them, and do some incredible work. And I'm sure that the work that I'm doing, when I pass on to Anna, she's in safe hands, and the Students' Union is in safe hands. And that is Neil Mackenzie and Scott Dawson. Can we have a round of applause for them? Yeah, they're heroes. And that's everything. That's me. I hope everyone had an amazing night and an amazing year. I think it's been an incredible year, and I've loved every minute of it. So thank you. Solidarity forever.